And good afternoon is Mike Ferry after lunch on day 2 of our production retreat here in Las Vegas, Nevada. As I mentioned yesterday, we have a great crowd of about 1,350 people. And I said to them, here's the good news about who we have in that room that are watching this production retreat. We got the right people at the right time learning the right things. And of course, in our industry today, our biggest challenge is trying to get new agents started, keep the veteran agents moving up in terms of productivity, and then with the average sales price going up as much as it has the last 18 months, trying to defeat complacency is where you become very satisfied because, we did a little survey here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where our headquarters are, and the average sales price in 2021 jumped almost $100,000 per house. It went from about $330,000 to $433,000. Well, if you take 3%, that means the average commission check went from about $9,700 to probably $12,000 or $13,000. And the agents are generally not doing anything different or anything more and earning a lot more money. So we got to think about the fact that as we look at 2022 carefully, our job should always be revolving around the word expansion. How do we expand the business? And that means we're going to have to get either more business from our existing clients and or find new people to talk to, or letter C, do both of the above. So we need to become better at working our database. We need to keep expanding our database, communicating with our database, talking to our database, not just sending a postcard or a letter or an email, but having conversations. And of course, the concern I hear a lot of the time is people will say, and they've said it during the production retreat, some of the people in my database I don't really care for. I said, well, then why don't you take them out? I mean, either we're going to converse and have conversations, or we should remove them. So we either get more business by talking to the people we already know, our database, or we find new people on a regular basis, which is, of course, the whole concept of prospecting. Or third, we do both A and B every day, so we mix up a little bit what we're trying to accomplish in terms of conversations. So that list I started yesterday with you, I named off 7 or 8 benefits of prospecting. I think we probably have about 25 or 30 methods on that list. And if you want a copy, send an email to mike.ferry@mikeferry.com, and I'll have my assistant Lori forward you a copy of that entire list of benefits. We're going to look today at a list of just random, I call them random thoughts about prospecting. And these have come about because, I've been doing seminars for 47 years, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people in a lot of cities and a lot of provinces and a lot of states worldwide. And it's interesting because if you really look at what the activity level is of most agents, it should revolve around prospecting, lead follow-up, pre-qualifying, going on presentations, closing for the signature, negotiating contracts, and then starting over again the next day on that same process. And the one area we're most likely to leave out is that what we call prospecting, lead generation, or conversations with people. So here's some random thoughts that I think you might appreciate. And again, it's a pretty extensive list. So today, if you would like a copy, again, mike.ferry@mikeferry.com, and Lori will get a copy sent out to you. So here's an example of some random thoughts. If you start each day as if it was your first day in the real estate business, or in essence, start each day at 0. I have no prospects, I have no leads, I have no listings, I have no sales, I have nothing under contract, I have no money in the bank, I got to get going. Well, that's an attitude that you develop, and that attitude is much more positive and scary for somebody that's brand new in real estate. And I wrote down, new agents are much more apt to prospect and talk to people than veteran agents, because the veteran agents already know all the reasons why it doesn't work. And their subconscious mind is convinced it doesn't work, so therefore it doesn't work. So start each day at 0. Think of yourself as a new agent. You got to create a transaction in your next couple of weeks to get that career off and running. Second random thought I wrote down, stopping and starting leads to low productivity and inconsistent income. Prospecting, lead conversations, etc., they have to be a regular routine. They have to be a habit. And since we can't live off past performances, it's the ability to do something today. So if I said to you today that either you find a good lead in the next 48 hours or you lose your license for life, could you find a lead? And the answer is, of course you could. It's just a matter, do you want to invest the time of the day? So if you think about the fact that you're not talking to people, you really don't have any leads to follow up on. And if you're not following up on leads, you have nobody to pre-qualify because you don't have any appointments. What are you doing all day? Well, Mike, I'm writing newsletters. I'm writing social media posts. Well, I understand that. But at the same time, if you invested some of that time in talking to people, from a random thought standpoint, wouldn't your business become better? Third thought I wrote down is on the days you don't feel like prospecting, and then I put in capital letters, it's normal. Everybody has those days. Just call 4 or 5 people from your database. 4 or 5 of your past clients are people that you know well, because they're going to answer the phone and they're going to have positive things to say, and they're going to say, how are you and how's the family? And you're going to say, how are you and how's the family and how have you been and what's going on? And oh, by the way, if you know of anybody that wants to buy or sell or talking about it, may I have their name and phone number? Because the people that know you best will have the most confidence in referring people to you. But the hard part of these random thoughts that I'm sharing with you today is we have to understand that the prospecting scripts, or what we say, only comes from what we put into our head before we say it. So the ability to practice, the ability to prepare, the ability to do your job at a higher level because of the confidence you have is the name of the game, which means then we should be building into our schedule earlier in the morning, 7:30 to 8, 8 to 8:30, etc., 30 minutes where we take the script we want to use for the buy owner, the expired, the past client, just listed, just sold, whatever that script is we're working on, and we practice and practice and practice and practice. And if you don't have a role play partner, you buy a mirror, you put it on your desk, and you stand up with your scripts, and with a smile on your face, you practice. Professionals practice scripts daily. Amateurs don't. Why do professional athletes get paid so much money? Because they spend all their time practicing. And then I wrote one more thought for you today, to break the boredom of prospecting, which everybody experiences. Here's a couple thoughts to help you break the boredom of prospecting. First, when you're through practicing, practice for 5 minutes more. When you've done from 8:30 to 9, commit to 5 minutes more, just to burn it a little deeper into your subconscious mind. Then I wrote, consider varying the time of day you do your prospecting lead generation. Maybe you're doing it from 8 to 10, maybe you're doing it from 10 to 12, maybe you're doing it from 1 to 3. See what time of day gets you the best response, and then do that more often. And then I wrote next, diversify. So for myself, 100 years ago when I was a real estate agent, for guaranteed, I was going to call the for sale by owners first, either on the phone or in person. Expired listings, then I would do just listed, then I would do just sold, and then I'd preview property and knock on doors on each side of the property I previewed and the house across the street. So I diversified what I was saying, I diversified what I was doing, and I diversified, and it helped me build more confidence with different types of people. But the last thing I wrote down to break the boredom, and I want you to think about this. You're going to hear the word no, and that can be eliminated most of the time based on the script that you use. So if you knock on a door or call a person on the phone and they're a total stranger, hi, my name is Mike, I'm in real estate, do you want to sell your home? And who do you know? Bzzzt, they hang up. Or they quickly shut the door. So I created scripts where they couldn't say no. My name is Mike, I'm in real estate, I was wondering, when do you plan on moving? They want to say no, but they can't. So they say, well, never. And how long have you folks lived in this beautiful neighborhood, in this beautiful home? Oh, we've been here 10 years. Why are you asking? Well, I'm just curious. Where did you folks move from? Well, we came from Pasadena down to Orange County. How did you happen to pick Orange County as a place to live? Well, why are you asking all these questions? Well, I'm just looking for somebody that may have an interest. How did you pick this area? Well, my husband got transferred down here with the business. If you were to move, where would you go next? Well, we'd probably move south to San Diego. And when would that be? Well, if you practice that script every day, pretty soon you're going to find the yes. So the purpose of talking to people is to look for the needle in the haystack, which is the yes. And the purpose of the script is to remove most of the no's so you can have these conversations, enjoy the experience, develop some leads, then follow up, pre-qualify, go on the showing or listing presentation, negotiate the contract, and get a paycheck, which is going to be bigger today than most of us ever dreamed because of the appreciation on property. So final thought for the day. I get asked every day, what is the market going to be like in 2022? It's going to be as good as you are as a salesperson. It doesn't matter if interest rates go up. It doesn't matter if the economy gets stronger or weaker. It doesn't matter what the competition is doing. It only matters what you're doing each day. And you know in here and in here what you're supposed to be doing. Let's set a goal that motivates you, gets you excited about what you're trying to accomplish. Talk to people to make it happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow from the production retreat.